to the podcast. My name is Dheandra Nicolette. I'm the host of Manifest Daily. If you're new here, welcome, my love. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. And if you're an OG listener, hey girl, hey boy, hey, what's poppin'? I'm glad to have you back here. Tune in for another episode of Manifest Daily. So my loves, today we are doing a little something different for this episode, aka literally not something different at all. The only thing that's happening that's new is that I'm recording this one as a YouTube video as well. So I know a lot of you guys have been subscribing to me on YouTube. I'm so grateful for that. Thank you so much for being here on YouTube as well. But if you want to see me in person or see a video version of me for this episode, go ahead and check out the show notes down below. I always have my YouTube channel there linked. You can also search Manifest Daily Podcast on YouTube or search Dheandra Nicolette. My channel name is actually just Dheandra Nicolette. So my loves, I'm excited for today's episode. I'm excited for the YouTube version and also the podcast version. And we are going to get into a juicy little topic that I'm excited to talk about today. And it is the question of, and not even the question of, but literally the topic of acting as if. Now, if you are not new to the law of attraction, manifestation, spirituality community, you know exactly what I'm talking about. There has been a lot of discourse around this idea of acting as if, right? And I believe I have even had an episode in the past on this podcast where I talk about acting as if, and I talk about my journey with acting as if, right? And I think I had it in an episode where I think it was a success episode where I was talking about just going to certain malls, going to certain areas, going to certain stores, and basically acting as if I was the person that would be shopping at those places or would be having those experiences, etc. And I want to sort of refine this idea a little bit more because I have really come to a place in my journey where I want to recycle the idea of acting as if. And I say recycle because I don't necessarily think we have to throw the whole thing out and be like, it is trash, we're done with it. It's not that serious, okay? It's not that I'm not that angry about it or that riled up about it. However, I do think that we need to recycle it. We need to sort of look at it in a different lens. And the lens that I want to challenge you or ask you to sort of look at this idea with is, instead of acting as if, I want us to switch it to embodying, right? I want us to switch it to being as if, to really, again, embodying our higher selves, embodying that person that we wish to be. And it really comes down to the language, right? You guys know I talk about this all the time, labels, stuff like that. We use labels, we use words to essentially categorize our world, to understand, to make sure that, when we're interacting with another human and we use certain words, they get, what we're trying to say, we get what they're trying to say, all that good stuff. However, it also has that double-edged sword with words where whatever you really say holds a lot of meaning, especially to yourself on a very deep and subconscious level. So when we say something like acting as if, and when we talk about acting as if, there's really this implied idea that we are not being who we truly are, right? You literally hear it in the word or in the phrase, acting as if. Think about it. If you're watching a movie and you're watching an actor or an actress in a movie, what are they doing? They're playing a part, right? They're on screen, they're playing a villain, they're playing a princess, they're playing, whatever the role is for that movie, for that scene. However, and I know as we're watching this movie that off of the screen, off of the big screen, when we walk out of that theater, when they walk off of that set, that is not who they are, right? The part that they are playing is simply that. It's just a part. It's just something that they're doing for a limited amount of time in order to create a result, which is that of the movie. And so when we talk about acting as if in our own lives, it is literally the same idea that we are touching on. And it's the idea that we are not being who we truly are. We are not embodying ourselves in a very authentic form. Instead, we are putting on a mask. We are playing a part of someone else, that of who we want to be, and we're playing that part for a very limited time, for a limited role, for a specific outcome, and after that we're gonna walk off set and that is not who we're gonna be anymore. And so when we talk about acting as if, again, it has this deep implication that that is not who we really are. And one of the biggest things when it comes to manifestation and creating this life that you want, creating this life that you dream about, that you visualize, is that you have to, on a very deep level, believe that you are not only deserving of the thing that you are calling in, but believe that it is really yours. You are aligned with it, that thing is meant for you, right? If you're trying to manifest a specific career, a specific home, a specific amount of abundance, a specific type of love, specific friendships, like you have to believe that the person that you are is naturally aligned with those things. And if you don't, you're going to find yourself running into a lot of different situations where you're attracting something that is very close to what you want, but may not exactly be what you want because you have some sort of subconscious block that is not allowing you to really match the true vibration of the thing that you are wanting to call in. And so instead of acting as if, instead of playing a role, instead of putting ourselves in this position where we are stepping into a temporary masked, version of ourselves, I want to challenge us to instead embody that higher self, embody that version of yourself that is aligned with those things, and embody that version on a very authentic level. So what does that look like? So again, the reason I go back to saying that we are recycling the idea of acting as if is because we're not fully throwing out all of the ideas that come with the phrase and the term and the idea of acting as if. We are recycling it. And so what I mean is that acting as if and embodying look very, very, very similar. And so really part of it is changing the way that you refer to what you were doing. So instead of being like, I'm acting as if I have this life, or I'm acting as if this is who I am, you are simply embodying who you are. This is who you are. It's no acting over here. It's no games. Like, this is not a game. This is literally who you are, right? But it also is very similar in that embodying that version of yourself goes a little bit deeper as well. So when we think about acting as if, I feel like a lot of the examples that I personally used to create for myself and used to see people talking about or creating when it came to acting as if had to do with a lot of surface level things, right? It was sort of like the materialistic thing. So for me, there were experiences where I would go to the Louis Vuitton store, or I would go to like really high-end malls. I would be eating at very like high-end restaurants, driving through really nice neighborhoods and being like, yes, this is me, acting as if I live in this neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? I'm riding around in my Porsche. Like, y'all know the vibes. Okay. So I was really doing a lot of the very just like surface level materialistic things, and that is not a bad thing at all. I think that is obviously a part of the life, right? Especially if you are trying to create a certain experience for yourself. The materialistic things, the actual things that are in our reality that live outside of us, are part of that. So focusing on the materialism isn't necessarily a bad thing, but I just want to challenge you to go deeper. And when we're talking about embodying the person, embodying that higher self, embodying the person that is aligned with the things that we are manifesting, it is essentially challenging you to go deeper than just the material. And what I mean by that is looking at your values, right? If we're talking about embodying someone, this higher self that is aligned with these certain things, what values do they hold? And how can you, in your current day life, begin to embody and hold those values on a really deeper level, right? So not just the materialism, not just the really nice things and the flashy things that we want to call in, but more so within ourselves. What are the traits? What are the values? What are the things? And so one of the things that I have come to really realize about myself and the version of myself that I am truly embodying, that is a higher version of myself, a highest version of myself, is that commitment. Y'all know these are my favorite words. I might as well get these words tattooed. Y'all stay tuned for the tattoo, okay? Because it's coming soon. But commitment, dedication, perseverance, work ethic is really, really important to me. I'm someone that I place a lot of value in my work. I place a lot of value in other things as well that I do, but I really place a lot of value in creating high quality content and creating high quality experiences where we can have these conversations, you and I, and we can get deep and we can like basically push each other to be better. And that is such a thing that I'm very passionate about, that I hold dear to myself. And that is a value, right? Like when I talk about the commitment to creating high quality content, the dedication, the work ethic that goes in behind this. Like literally right now, it's before my 9 to 5. I'm sitting down, I'm recording this video, I'm recording this podcast episode. And yes, it's a little tiring. Yes, you know, would I rather be doing something else right now? Actually, no, I would not. That's, you know, I'm like, what would I be doing right now? I'm like, girl, it ain't nothing that I'd rather be doing right now, period. Because other than doing this, I'd be doing my 9 to 5 job, and really I'd rather be doing this. So it's like talking about those values, right? And how can I embody them in my everyday life? Another thing that is I see for my higher self all the time is sort of this idea of empathy and kindness with other human beings. I love the idea of connecting with other human beings. I love to personally connect with you guys, to have deeper conversations, to talk about what you're going through, to relate it to what I'm going through, and realize that we are very, very connected. Like even though we are living separate lives, separate experiences, we are very much connected in so many different ways. And that is something that I really value. And so I love to bring that into the content that I create. I love to make it in a way where you guys can see that we are very, very, very connected and we're not necessarily like so separate from each other. So look at the higher self that you envision. Like whenever you think about the person that you are essentially aspiring to be, or if you're thinking about certain things that you're trying to manifest, certain experiences, certain things, what does the person, the version of you who has those things, who is experiencing those things, what are they like, right? How do they speak? How do they communicate? How do they express themselves? What values do they prioritize? What things in their life do they prioritize? Are they someone that has a certain routine, that creates certain routines because they prioritize certain traits that are aligned with those routines? Like think about all of these things and think about them in a very, very deep level. Like get to, the root of that person. Don't just look at, okay, that, they got all these things, they live in this type of life, it's lit. Go deeper. Like literally, who is that version of yourself? And once you can start to sort of like pick out little pieces of the puzzle and figure out like, oh, okay, they got these values and this is this and all this, realize that version of you is you. It is not separate from you. It is not different from you. That is literally you. But if you can imagine it this way, it's sort of like that version, the higher self, even though we talk about the higher self and sort of it seems like this person lives up here, it is within you, right? And so it's more so about you peeling back the layers of who you may be right now. Maybe certain things are covering up those traits or those values that you want to embody. And how can you start to peel back the layers in your current everyday life in order to truly release that version of yourself, in order to really and truly allow yourself to embody that version of yourself right now? That is how you align with the version of reality that you prefer. That is how you manifest on a such like a powerful level, because you are truly allowing yourself to not just visualize the things that live outside of yourself, but you are allowing yourself to visualize how you can embody the traits that are within you, how you can reconnect with the traits that are within yourself in order to align with the things that are already yours. There's a reason you have those visions. There's a reason those things that you're thinking about are always on your mind. It's because literally your higher self, that version of you, wants to be unlocked, wants to like let those traits run free, wants to allow you to basically, align with those things and call them in because they are literally yours. So let's recycle this idea of acting as if. I think it's a little bit ancient, okay? We live and we learn. We live and we learn. And this is always a journey. And so that's why I'm like, there probably is an episode where I'm talking about acting as if, and I'm really focusing on the material, because where I was in my journey at that time, that is what I needed to do. That is who I needed to be. That is what I needed to learn. That is the understanding that was going to propel me forward at that particular stage of my journey. But where I am right now and where I want you to be with me is at a place where we are going deeper than acting, and we are beginning to embody, because by embodying that version of ourselves, we are going to allow ourselves to become even more magnetic for the things that are already ours. So sit with that, my loves. I really hope that y'all feel what I'm putting down, okay? And y'all can sit with that and let me know what you think. If you're watching this on YouTube, come comment down below. That's like another fun part. I know you guys DM and stuff, but you know, it's always fun to like have the conversations on YouTube, and then we're all sort of as a community having these conversations. So if you're watching on YouTube, comment down below. Let me know what you think about this video, what I said. Let me know if this is something that you also resonate with, something that you personally have experienced in your journey, this evolution from acting as if to embodying. And yeah, just let me know in the comments. And of course, if you're listening on podcast, DM me. Let me know in the DMs. They go down in the DM, girl. Let me know over there what you're thinking, and we can have that conversation there as well. So thank you, my loves, so much for being here. I appreciate you so much, and I do want to make more of these episodes in the future moving forward. I think since we're doing 2 times a week episodes on the podcast, Tuesday and Friday, with Friday episodes being a little bit shorter, I feel like that'll be a good place to really try out some of these new things I want to try out. I feel like I always have these like creative itches to try things out, and I get nervous because I'm like, oh, it's so different than the regular content. And Friday episodes are going to be that place where I can really allow myself to experiment a little bit more with some of these things, including these video episodes. They're a little bit shorter. We also have some affirmation episodes. So if you are someone that likes affirmations, actually, I believe only one of them is live right now. The next one may go live, not today, but next Friday. So if you like affirmations, if you're someone that likes to listen to affirmations while you're relaxing in the bath, maybe right before bed, right up in the morning as you're waking up, go ahead and check out Manifest Daily Podcast. Of course, link down below if you are coming from YouTube, and you will find some of those affirmation episodes that I am referring to. Anyways, my loves, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you so much. Go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. If you're on Apple Podcasts, please rate and review. 5-star review, please, my loves. 5-star review. Listen, if you don't like the episode, just don't leave no review, and that's it. Thank you. Thanks. Bye. But thank you so much, my loves. I will chat with you in the next video. Bye.